It's your girl, Lady Mocha. And you know I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off with a slice of knowledge. Hey, good evening. It is your girl, your diva knowledge, Lady Mocha, and I want to thank you for stopping by to dine in with me here at Cafe de Paris. Well, I know the theme music throws y'all totally off. Well, y'all know me. Y'all know I'm always going to switch up. You never know where the hell I'm coming from, honey. I just was bored as hell today. I said, you know what? I got free time on my hands. Let me just go ahead and just do a new theme music. Hell, we in 2018, the month of April, and I've had the same theme music for a little over a year. So I said, hell, why not switch it up, So that's basically what I did. So I hope y'all like the new theme music. I got to keep things spicy and different. So basically, yes, I did all of that this earlier today. Of course, the original logo and everything, King Era is the creator and developer of that, and all I did was just throw some hot sauce in it and just spice it up a little bit. But he actually inspired me to be able to get into doing my own editing, and I'm just having so much fun. I'm enjoying it. I could easily got him or anybody to do the editing, but I like to edit my own craft. I like to edit my own product because I'm extra and I'm picky, and and I understand people don't always have time to get the things. So it was done by yours truly, Lady Mocha. But on that note, I just came back from the movies with my husband. We went to go see Acrimony by Tyler Perry, and I'm not going to go into the details because I'm sure some of you probably didn't get a chance to see it. But when I say that movie just opened my brain cells to so many different topics that I felt is really going to be beneficial to many of my ladies out there, because I'm always doing videos for the guys, and I felt it was very, imperative that from time to time I do some videos for my ladies out there because, I know that sometimes as women, we have a lot of emotional baggage, and a lot of other issues that be going on within us, and sometimes, we just need to hear some advice from our own, from somebody who can relate to our struggles and our situations and who can do that better than me because, hell, I am a black woman, you feel me? But the movie was really, really good, I tell you. I mean, it hit so close to home because I feel like as ladies, we could become so obsessed with our own pain. We could become so obsessed with our own regrets. And that movie was really an eye-opener. I think if you are a woman, you really need to go check that movie out. It will really, really... Oh my gosh, I tell you, I'm still recuperating. I'm feeling like I'm not woman in that situation, honey. I tell you, the decisions we make when we let people get all in our ear, but honey, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. I don't want to give away too much of that movie, but if you get a chance, please check that movie out. I'll probably commentate on it probably within a couple of days, depending on how I feel. But it's a really, really awesome movie. On that note, I want to go definitely right into tonight's recipe because I've been getting this question for quite some time, and I've been getting this question basically from men more than anything. And I'm always hearing this question, it never fails. This question I'm always getting is why some women, predominantly black women, so attracted or drawn to the worst breed of men. So, I felt like, hell, tonight's why not is a good time to address this issue. I get this question a lot. So basically, you know how Mocha does. I break down everything down to the lowest common denominator. You know, I like to break down all of the elements. I like to really saturate your mind with my wisdom and knowledge. So basically I took notes on I took notes on this particular topic for tonight so I could break down all of the factors for why some women are so why are some women, predominantly black women, are so drawn to the worst breed of men. Now keep in mind, I just want to let everybody know this right up front before I even get into the discussion. This is not a man bashing video. This video is not to bash men or to make women feel some type of way about men. That is not what this video is about. I'm directly answering a question from another man. I'm answering the question why women make the worst of choices or are so attracted to thugs or clowns, whatever you want to label. Because I get a lot of guys that ask me this. They always comment this, make comments up under a lot of my videos. You know, women, black women, this is the type of men they like, the worst type of men. They like dogs, they like thugs and stuff. So, you know, I just want to make sure I let everybody know that. Secondly, this is not a woman bashing video. This is not to state that all black women pick up no good ass men, because a lot of women of different races pick up no good ass men. It's white women that have done it, it's Puerto Rican, and you know, different women of all races. It's not just black women who just pick up no good bums, you know, builder bums. But again, the majority of my videos I do specifically for black women because I am a black woman. I can relate to other women as women, but for the most part, you know, most of the material that I do is predominantly for black women because I am a black woman, okay? So, again, there's no need to get offended. This video is non-biased. And again, like I always say, if it does not apply, you don't have to reply. All this is my own personal intake, my own personal wisdom, and, you know, spiritual awareness that I'm sharing with both of you, men and women, because y'all know me, I'm completely biased. I'm a ride both sexes. That's how I do on my channel, okay? So now that all of that is out the way, we're going to go right into these factors right away, starting with number one. So again, the question, as I stated, is why are some women attracted to the worst breed of men? Okay, first reason is upbringing. Okay, a woman can't give what she hasn't been taught. Now, again, I've been getting this question a lot, and I had a gentleman who actually reached out to me. He was actually, I did like a panel. I did a panel video one night. I actually did a live panel with Wake the Hell Up, and I believe New Orleans and Law Movement. I think it was a couple of us. I can't remember. I think Danini was on that one too, or whatever. But it was like 4 or 5 of us. And I remember one of the guys actually brought that question up to me, and he wanted to know. You know, he's basically stated, "I'm a nice guy. I'm a good dude. I'm a gentleman." And it seems like I always get women who take advantage of me. He actually was dating a girl or whatever, and you know, I guess he wanted to take out to dinner, do something, or whatever the case was. And I can't really recall a story, but from what I can remember, you know, he basically stated how one of her sisters or one of her female friends was around, and basically, you know, she tried to, her girlfriend or whoever the other female was trying to influence her to use him, to take advantage of him, being that he was a nice guy, you know. And it really puzzled him, like, well, damn, you know, I'm being a gentleman, you know, I'm being respectable, I'm not trying to take her to bed, and yet, you know, she's trying to dog me, she's trying to take advantage of my kindness, you know. And why do women do that? And again, it has a lot to do with one of these reasons here, upbringing. The majority of the issues that black women have is a lot of us do not have the best examples, okay, as far as women who have taught us how to be women, okay. A lot of us weren't blessed with the same type of mothers that our mothers had during the 70s or during the early 80s or whatever, the 60s. And a lot of these women are dysfunctional today based on the type of dysfunctional ass women who raised them and gave birth to them. So, the generations of women started changing, I'll say, in the early 90s and all the way up into the early millennium, is when women slowly but surely started losing their touch as far as, being real women and, carrying themselves like ladies. We kind of like lost that along the way. And not to mention, a lot of it has to do with babies having babies. A lot of women, their mothers had them young. So when you are young and you have children, you really are not edifying to that child's life because you don't have all the tools you need in order to pass down to that child. If you became a mother at 15, 14, 13, 9 times out of 10, your child was doomed from the start because you didn't have all the necessities and everything you needed in order to teach that little girl or that little boy how to be a man, or how for that little girl to be a woman. You didn't have all the tools you needed because you were still a child yourself. So that is part of the problem, is that a lot of women are dysfunctional, unfortunately, as far as knowing the difference between a good man and a no good man, because based on the type of dysfunctional foundation they were born or raised into. If they didn't have a mother, if the mother was too young, she was ignorant to the fact. Again, she didn't have all the womanly ability she needed to be able to pass down. Or you also have had women who was just straight trifling, who didn't set good examples for their daughter. Let's say her being conceived at a young age isn't the issue. You have a lot of women who were raised in households where they did not have the best examples as far as what a wife is supposed to be, as far as what a mother's supposed to be. So especially if you had one of those moms that was a loose cannon, that had a new uncle to your house every night, or is she was in the same relationship as what was with no good ass Joe who did nothing but drink and lay on her sofa constantly because he never worked and never had a job, and just kept a dent in her sofa because he really ever got off of it to work or do anything. So some women were just cheated from the start as far as knowing what kind of qualities to choose in a man, because they didn't have a real mother or some type of real female influential influence or whatever to really teach them. If you have a mother that's gut bucket, or she was hood rat, or she was young, or she was one of them women who had a husband, but let's be honest, some men, not that many, but some men back then, like some men now, are very spineless. Not all men were leaders. They allowed the woman to pretty much run wild and do whatever the hell she wanted to do. So believe it or not, you have some females who were raised in households where the mother got away with murder. The father didn't have a backbone. Like I said, not many. That's probably been, especially during the 60s or the 70s, because men really put their foot down back then, and they didn't allow all of the type of madness that these women get away with now. That these new cats, or these young cats allow their young wives to do everything and anything now. But back then, great granddaddy and granddaddy didn't play that. Okay, Mr. Earl didn't let Betty do whatever the hell she wanted to do. Okay, but today, James will let Keisha pretty much do whatever the hell she wants to do. Okay, there's not too many men that are leaders who are stepping up, who are putting their foot down. Okay, so basically, if a woman was raised in that type of household, 9 times out of 10, that woman did not teach her anything. She did not teach her what type of qualities to look for in the man. And let's say, even if she did try to stress those qualities, if you're seeing Mama Jean talking to Daddy all kind of way, being disrespectful, coming out the mouth, and Daddy's just sitting there like the spineless, puppy, and you've seen your mother just, just challenge his manhood, constantly disrespect him, it's going to automatically be programmed into your mind as a young girl at that point in time that it is okay to be ruthless. It's okay to not be a woman and not allow the man to be a leader. So if you was raised in those type of conditions, of course, you're not going to have the best judgment in men, because 9 times out of 10, she's not teaching you what to look for, because she's not even doing it. If she's walking all over Mr. Charles or Mr. Eddie and bogarting him, and he's just sitting there like a puppy, then of course she's not going to teach you how to respect a man or what to look for in a man. And then you have some of them who will try to tell you what to look for in a man, but you can just their words don't match up with their actions. So a woman's upbringing has a lot to do with her as far as not making the best decisions in a man. If you didn't have a mother there telling you, look, make sure you get a man that has a good job. Make sure you get a man that treats you like a woman, makes you feel important. It's not always about his money. It's not always about what he can do for you. The fact about what y'all can do for each other. Not only how he can be a benefit to you, but how can you also be a benefit to them. It takes a mother to instill that into a child at a young age and make her understand that this world is not all about who you can benefit from, but how you can be a benefit to someone as well. But if, again, based on her upbringing, if she didn't have a woman in her life that instilled those qualities into her, 9 times out of 10, she's going to be a woman with a whole lot of issues, and she's going to always draw the wrong man in her life because nobody was there to teach her how to look for the right man, okay? So that's the first reason. The second reason is a woman makes choices based on her environment. Now, I got to sip my little wine on this one because this is going to be an interesting factor. This is good. I'm sipping on a little I think it's called Manischewitz sweet red cream wine or whatever. So I know this is an old drink, but it's so good. I love sweet wines. Anyhow, a woman, as I stated before, a woman makes choices based on her environment. Basically, a woman chooses a man based on the level of her struggle. This is one reason why some women are drawn to the worst type of guys. It's common sense. Now keep in mind, if it does not apply, do not reply. If you was born and raised in the projects, and I'm not saying this to insult anybody that lives in the project. Sometimes we can't help where we live. Everybody can't afford a 4 or 5 bedroom mansion or condo. I get it, It's not where you live, it's your mentality. But what happens is with the majority of these black women, we allow our environment to mold and shape our perception in life. We allow our environment to shape the type of decisions we make. Meaning that if you were born and raised in the projects, it's some women who will pick up other men who, like them, are born and raised in the projects. Or, again, if she's in the hood, 9 times out of 10, if she lives in the hood, if she's been born and raised in the hood the majority of her life, 9 times out of 10, she's going to pick up another hood clown. Okay, because again, it's all about getting somebody who can relate to her struggle. And it's perfect common sense because the thing about it is, as much as, women, catch a lot of heat, and we are constantly being scrutinized as black women for the type of choices we make in men, the bottom line is, the majority of black women problem is they are only picking up guys who are on the same level of their struggle. Meaning that if you live in the projects, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be the man who lives in the project. Because if you live in the projects, the odds of you, going to an environment where you're meeting men that are like lawyers, doctors, all these big time NBA athletes, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be hard for women who are on that level of struggle to even, be in the same presence of those type of men. To be honest with you, if you live in low income housing and you just getting paycheck to paycheck, you only got enough, you only get enough child support, you only get enough for TANF or whatever, or whatever little low income means you're getting. If you only have enough left over just to get your nails and maybe make a trip to the hair store or two, that's about as good as your life is going to get. That's as far as you're going to be able to branch out. You may be able to go to the club, you may be able to go to a Lil Wayne concert or Kendrick Lamar concert, somewhere on that level. These type of men of high caliber, you're not going to meet them in places like that. You're not going to meet men of high standard, lawyers, doctors, professional athletes and rappers. And, you know, if you do, it's a slam damn chance you just get lucky to even run into men of high status in this type of low budget ass atmosphere, okay? So it's basic common sense. Women who are used to being on a low bracket struggle level, they're not gonna attract those type of men of good quality because they don't have the availability or the access to even get in that environment. You know, in order for you to go to these conferences and these conventions where these men of high power status, lawyers and doctors and everything, for one, you got to have the connections, okay? 9 times out of 10, these project girls, hood girls, or low income girls, they don't have no connections. They don't hang out with other girlfriends who know lawyers, who know athletes, who know basketball players. They don't even have those type of connections. They're not even around those kind of people because again, you know, when you're on a low income level, you are restricted as far as being able to explore. Okay, you're not going to be able to do like the other groupies do. You can't go to these big time NBA championship games where you could so happen to luck up and run into you a LeBron James, or well, I don't want to say him because he's married, but I don't know any single basketball player, so y'all feel where I'm coming from. But anyway, you know, you're not gonna catch a hood girl or project girl in these type of environment because it's hella expensive to even go see those type of games. You know, to even be in that type of limelight. You can't go to these conferences where these doctors are. You know, you have no connections. First of all, if you ain't got no job, if you're not working somewhere where you are able to run into these type of men, it's far fetched to you meeting somebody that's on a better level than you are. You're not going to meet somebody on a higher level when you're always to the low level. You know, again, this is one of the reasons why some women are can only pick up a certain type of dude or attract a certain type of dude. They don't have the connections. They're not in that type of world. That you know, that's kind of like, you know, you were broke, you know, you broke and working at a little mini job at Payless shoe store or something like that, you know, and it's very rarely, you know, your lifestyle, you're going to be somewhere where you're not going to have millionaire friends. You're not going to have millionaire girlfriends that's going to say, look, I would like for you to come to me and Tina's you know, um dinner party. You know, all the attorneys in town are going to be there. All the doctors in town are going to be there. Hood girls, first of all, women that are on this level don't even hang with hood girls. They're not going to invite hood girls in their circle, in their personal space or whatever, to where they even get the advantage of meeting men in that type of walk of life. So what happens is Kiki ends up getting up with Snooki or whatever, you know, or Bam Bam, or whatever, you know, Black, because there's always somebody in the hood named Black. So I'm gonna use that name. So it's very rarely Keisha is gonna run into a Tyler or a Scott. You know, she'll run into a damn Black, you know, or Mike or whatever, because again, based on her lack of availability as far as connections, as far as her type of environment, that's all she's limited to, you know, because again, she's not in that world. And you know, and this is another point I wanted to bring up that I also thought was very imperative. You know, well, you know, actually, I'm not gonna bring that up till later because I'm getting ready to go to another point anyway. So, just disregard that. So, again, a woman makes choices based on her environment. If all she knows is the hood, she's gonna pick up hood men. If all she knows is the projects, she's gonna pick up project men. Women make choices based on their environment. The chances of her lucking up and getting a man of success is just a damn miracle, practically. It happens, but it doesn't happen rarely. So that's number two. Number three, lack of ambition. Okay, basically, she picks up a man based on her level of struggle, like I mentioned before. If all she knows is the hood, she's not going to be interested in a man from Harvard. Basically, this is what I'm saying. You know, when you are stagnant and you've been stationary for a very long time, and you've always been in this one little box, or you've always been in this one little setting, the chances is it is very hard to branch out and change the familiar, because sometimes the unfamiliar is scary. So a lot of the times we stick with the familiar, and the familiar isn't always good for us. Just because that's all you know doesn't mean that's all you should strive to know. But most of the time people want to you want rather remain where they are comfortable, even if it's not good for them. As long as it makes them comfortable, that is all that matters. Okay, so you know when, as far as women, not understanding the nice guy's language, a lot of it has to do with, if that's all she's been exposed to. If you're around drug boys all the time, you're around hood boys all the time, you see these hood boys driving nice cars, walking around with these bank rolls, to you, that's like living the life. Especially if you came up in a family, and that's another issue, guys. Some of these women came up in poverty stricken families, and I've mentioned this before in one of my videos. They were born and raised in poverty. So to a lot of these women on this level of poverty, and there's a difference between low income and poverty. You cannot have a lot of money, but still, but not having a lot of money doesn't mean that your mentality is just as less as you, as the amount of money you keep in your pockets. But basically, what I'm stating is that, you have some women who were born and raised in poverty. Mama didn't have a lot, daddy didn't have a lot. So when this drug boy or this hood boy or hood clown comes around her with a lot of money, and he's flossing it and acting like he got so much, he's dressed clean, look clean. Every time she sees him, he has on a new pair of Jordans, he got on a new pair of gabachas. I don't know what the hell they call them, expensive ass pants for like $500-600, which is crazy to me. But to her, it looks like he has a lot. And whenever, because sometimes you're so, the lower you are to the bottom, the higher up everybody else looks. But to everybody else who's used to having, who's used to being on a certain bracket, a drug boy can't impress them, because they're used to, especially if they came up in families where the father always pretty much made good money. The father always pretty much, she come from a family where she's used to being provided the best. She can't be swindled by no hood boy. She can't be swindled by no dope boy. But these young bras with this hood rat mentality, who's come from a family that doesn't have much of anything, and her eyes, based on her project psyche, it looks like he has a lot. So it's not going to take much for him to spit some game to her. He could pull out a lot of money, and to her, she'll get impressed. That's a lot to her, because you got to realize, she comes from a family where she's used to coming from the goddamn struggle. So when you got this guy coming along looking clean and decked out and wearing new stuff all the time, to you it's like, damn, he got a lot. He's balling. As for a woman who comes from a family that's usually well off, she's gonna know better. She's gonna know based on his environment. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, you live in the projects and you walking around with 5-6 grand not on you. Oh no, that ain't your money. 9 times out of 10, that not belongs to somebody else who you pushing the drugs for. A dope boy, a hood boy, not gonna be able to manipulate a female that's educated or come from a family that's well off, because she's gonna know between her education and the qualities that her rich folks don't put in her, or her well-off folks don't put into her. She is going to be a red flag. She's going to know what to look for, because daddy don't already put it in her mind what type of man to look for, because her daddy has always been well-off. So she's always had that example of what to look for. So a dope boy, a hood boy is not going to be able to pull that type of female, a female that comes from a family that's well-off. Now, keep this in mind. I'm not saying this just from it doesn't always have to be a financial thing, because I want people to understand that. Even if you don't come from a family that's financially well off, if you have parents that help, for the most part, who are very stable in your life and who have good morals and good values, even if they don't have a lot of money, they're going to show you what to look for before you get out there in the real world. I made sure I prepared my daughter on what type of man to look for. I told her, she's 16 years old, and I tell her, because she's slowly getting into dating, that look, just because you see a man dressed clean from head to toe, and got on new Jordans all day, what the hell he work out for him to be that goddamn clean every day, all day long? Unless he's a white collar worker and he's sitting behind a desk, unless he's a lawyer, a doctor, or a rapper. I mean, a real rapper, not ones who just be paying to record the lay tracks down in the studio, okay? Because everybody got the definition of what a rapper is. You got some people that are trying to become rappers and already labeling themselves as rappers. If you're not already a T.I. or low, somebody who already got records and you going on tour, then you're not a goddamn rapper. If you just doing studio time, okay, you're not there, brother, yet. You're not there, but just keep working on it. I have faith in you, okay. Basically, I taught her that unless he has those type of professions where he can be kind of clean, do not knock him, do not write him off and be quick to disregard him, because well, what I'm going to say is, just because you see a guy clean and decked down all the time, that does not mean he got it together. That does not mean he's balling like that, okay? Because for a man to stay clean every day, all day, unless he's one of those professions I just told you, something is up with that, okay? Because you got a lot of pretty boy unemployed Floyds that's walking around here too. On the other hand, you see a guy that's dirty, dingy, and you see him driving a work truck, them be the ones with the money, okay? Because guess what? He's not worried about being decked out and clean. He's worried about stacking some bread. And even if he got to look dirty all damn week until he goes out the weekend to go roll with his boys or whatever, them be the ones with the money. See, again, it teaches a woman to teach her daughter this. And this is what I put in my daughter, because I didn't want her to be fooled by illusions, because a lot of women, we get fooled by illusions. We get turned on based on what we think, based on just what we think or believes or whatever that brother presents himself to be. Same thing with ladies too, because ladies, y'all do it too. Y'all sit up here, y'all fool these men and act like y'all real women. The first 3 weeks within y'all dating, you cooking and cleaning, act like you so womanly and act like you so goddamn domestic, and then as soon as y'all get serious and y'all moving together, you won't even make the brother a ham sandwich. So it's not just women who be getting deceived, men get deceived too, honey. Especially when you get hit by that strobe light, because you had so much MAC makeup packed up on your face at that nightclub, okay? And he wakes up with you the next day, and you went from the complexion of Lisa Ray to got doggone Whoopi Goldberg, honey. Cause so it's just not a man thing, honey. You women, y'all do it too. Y'all know how to fake the funk and act like y'all so this and that, and to when the brother gets to know you, he see all the real you. So everybody wears their little mask and puts on their best presentation, okay? But it took me to put that into my daughter and make her understand that. And it's unfortunately that a lot of these young girls these day and age, if they don't have real mothers, they are going to get bamboozled so much. They're going to be falling in love with these guys' images instead of the real guy, okay? So that was the next thing I wanted to mention. And basically, I kind of missed this point. The next thing was the reason why some women are attracted to the worst breed of men is based on her lack of ambition. Some women lack ambition, meaning they are comfortable in their struggle. They are comfortable with staying in their house, and they're comfortable with collecting their food stamps, their welfare, their child support, and that's living a life for them, okay? So when a woman lacks ambition, she would pretty much pick up anything. Because when a woman is really driven and when you're striving to get to something bigger and better in life, you're not just going to pick up anything along the way, because you're so driven and focused on trying to better yourself. The moment anybody comes to you half stepping, you're going to be like, no, it's not happening, bro. I'm not giving you my number. I'm not giving you my time, because she's focused. She's driven. Okay, she's trying to get to college. She's trying to start her own business. She's trying to start her own type of, she's trying to basically build a future for herself. So she don't have time to be dealing with cornballs. But a woman who lacks ambition, one who is okay with staying in housing, who's okay with just collecting stamps, welfare, whatever, 9 times out of 10, this type of woman is going to pick up anything. And that's usually how it works. deadbeats attract other deadbeats. And one of my followers mentioned this. A lot of times we attract our own kind. You a bum, you gonna pick up a bum. And a lot of times, I tell women, that sometimes, when you pick up your own kind, it basically is because neither one of y'all ain't doing nothing. If you notice, like, for example, there's just an example, a woman who gets pregnant, who's already struggling, and who ain't got much of anything. 9 times out of 10, she's gonna conceive children with a guy that's on the same level as her. He ain't struggling and got nothing either. So guess what? Another child is brought into this world with two sorry ass parents. And a lot of it comes from the fact is because neither one of them was productive, had nothing going for themselves. That gave them room to screw each other as much as they wanted to, and be up under each other and bunk up under each other. So that's how they have so much time and room and energy to sex each other all goddamn day because neither one of them ain't doing nothing. But when you have a woman that's driven and when you have a man that is driven and he got his eyes on the prize and he got things going for him, he ain't got time to be picking up any piece of trash. He's not just going to work with anything. That's the same thing with a woman. So just keep in mind that a lot of women are unfortunately picking up the worst kind of men because they lack ambition. You don't have nothing. What's the odds of you picking up somebody who got something? And let's say if you do look up and be one of those broads who on your bottom, you all the way to the bottom, and you just so happen to get lucky from a guy who's in a better place. You get lucky because you got a lot of women, they doing slick stuff like that now. They intentionally getting pregnant from men who are well off and all this other stuff or whatever. But even with that, you're still going to be cheated for the simple fact that you have no connection with this man. There's no real genuine relationship with this man. So even then you still shortening yourself or whatever, because meanwhile while he's steady striving to get to the next level, you're still not going to get as far as he is, because again, you're not in a situation where you got as much going on great for yourself than he does. You know what I mean? So either way, you have to take it with a grain of salt. The next reason that some women are attracted to the worst breed of men is that some women are attracted to drama. Good guys bore them. Some women are used to abuse, and good treatment is foreign. This is totally true. You have a lot of women who are so drawn to drama, and what is starting to happen is women, these hood rats or these hood booger type of females, what they do is they pick up men that are just as emotionally deficient as they are, which means they're picking up these drama kings. Because let's face it, honey, we got some drama kings out there too now, okay, who's emotional, down on their luck. So the only way they can find some fulfillment in life is by picking up a woman who they feel like who has self-esteem just as low as theirs, a woman who they know they could ride and rag and mentally abuse her, physically abuse her, because again, he's not feeling fulfilled as a man. So he gets his jollies off by coming into this woman's life and making her miserable. You got some men that do that. Not all men, but some men do that, And some women, they like these kind of men. They really do. They are attracted to men that are drama just like them. And what they think is how a lot of women get emboozled. They think because a guy is they mistake it like the guy is just as emotional as she is, as she is. Them thinking, okay, they seeing the guy acting out, he want to fight. He's the type of dude that is quick to get obnoxious. He likes to turn up all the goddamn time. He has no filter. And in her mind, she may be attracted by that because by her being emotional and dramatic, and again, I think I have to break down the difference between that. It's the difference between a woman being emotional and a woman just being a goddamn drama queen. When you are emotional, you get upset about things that are relevant. If you're emotional, you'll get upset about somebody hurting your children. You may get upset about losing your job or something like that, or your home going in foreclosure. When you're emotional, you get upset about things you're compassionate about. When a woman is dramatic, she doesn't get upset about the things she's compassionate about. She gets upset with the things that she bitches about. That is the difference, okay? She gets upset over everything that's irrelevant. A woman is a drama queen when she get mad over who slept with her man last night, who her baby daddy with now, and all this other stuff. Anytime a woman has time, too much time on her hands to get upset about things that are irrelevant, that are not really beneficial to her in the future or whatever, she's just being straight goddamn dramatic. She's not emotional. There's a difference between the two. Um, Basically, some women are drawn to men that are dramatic. Women who are in pain, sometimes they will empathize and sympathize with another brother who's in just as much pain as she is. It may not be the same exact amount of pain, but some women are drawn to other people who are in pain. And women, we are high candidates of that. When we're in pain, we love to borrow other people's pain. I don't know if that's a curse that Eve installed in us when she ate that damn apple. Women, we are so drawn to pain, especially miserable women. Miserable women are more drawn to somebody in pain than anything. So miserable women, who are not in a good place, who do not have the best of self-esteem, women who lack maturity, they will go pick up other drama kings, who cannot emotionally balance them, and women who are dramatic like that, what they need is a man, a real man that's going to emotionally balance them and put them in a goddamn place when they see them just acting stupid for no dumbass reason. I don't mean just put her in a place like he's slapping her up and knocking her down or whatever, where he's actually telling her, no, you're not going to act like that. You need to cut all that nonsense out. You're a grown ass woman. You need to pull it together. My husband met me. I was an emotional hot mess. I really, really was. I came to him with a lot of emotional baggage. I came to him with things that I have gone through and previous relationships, and I never got past it. I came to him as a broken woman. I was broken. I wasn't. I still had this residue. I still had this residue of pain still stained. I had this stain on me. I had this stain of pain still on me. And I came to him an emotional hot mess. I would always snap at him, go off on him. The moment I see him doing something out of pocket, similar to what my ex-man did back in the past that I never recovered from. And it really took him to be really, really patient with me over the years, and I knew he just genuinely loved me and cared for me, because any man would have left. They wouldn't have been able to deal with my emotional roller coaster. They would have not been able to. They would not have had patience. That's why I strongly believe for every man there's just that one man that's just right for you, that fits you. It's kind of like, you go into a clothing store, and what fits one woman, that don't mean it's gonna fit you. It may be too big on you, or maybe too small for you. And I just felt like, he definitely was the man for me, because I was going through a really emotional rough season, and he had every right to walk away and say, you know what, you too much. I cannot deal with you, and just his love for me and his compassion for me. He stood by me till I got into a better place where I was mature enough to learn how to deal with my emotions. And even at time, I'm still not there. And he has to constantly be like my coach. He got like, okay, babe, what's wrong? What's the matter now? Why are you acting up? What's really going on? I mean, he just is constant. He's like my emotional coach. But I get it. All men are not built to deal with certain stuff. So, you got to know what you can deal with. As I said, again, and some women are drawn to men, drama kings, and men of trouble. Also, because some women are used to being abused. I hate to say it, but it's sad. Some women are used to being abused. Some women are used to being mistreated. So when another guy comes along and is opening doors for her, is being concerned, how was your day? How you doing? She's scared of that, because that's foreign. That's like a man speaking Japanese to you when you used to being beat on, called the B word, you hoe. When you used to that type of treatment, and this good guy comes along, it is scary. I know it makes no sense to you men out there. Like, why the hell, if a woman's been abused, you would think she will want somebody that's good for her. But abuse actually does the opposite. It makes you more drawn. For some women, it makes you more drawn to those type of men, because that's what you're used to. Some people are used to dysfunction. Doesn't make any sense, but Some people are just used to being mistreated. Once that becomes a part of your psyche, and you have not outgrown that, or you have not gotten any spiritual counseling or professional counseling, dealing with these issues, it becomes a part of your norm. So some women are attracted to drama, so this is a reason why some women are drawn to men that are not good for them. Again, number five, I think I mentioned this before. Her mother didn't give her any womanly abilities. Again, your mother is your first teacher. And if your mother is not up here really talking to you, not just talking at you, talking to you, saying, honey, this is the type of guys you want to meet. These are the type of guys you want to make yourself appealing to. Don't smile at every Tom, Dick, and Derek face, that's showing his teeth. It takes a woman to teach her daughter that. And a lot of women are cheated because they had mothers who were not really mothers. Okay. Number six, some women are drawn to men. Yes, I'ma say it. Because she's just digmatized, honey. In other words, he got that good pipe, and I'm about to go into that right now. Um, some women are digmatized. Being digmatized is like, it's kind of like a bad drug. It's kind of one of those things where it's not good for you, like anybody who drinks a lot, or anybody who smokes. Well, a lot of people smoke weed, so I can't use that as an example. But somebody who does cocaine, somebody who does crack, it's one of them things is not good for you, but it feels good to you. And you have a lot of women who are stuck in the worst of relationships, all because that guy, a man, knows how to throw some good pipe. And pipe has gotten a lot of women in a delusional place. It has ruined a lot of women because a lot of women have learned to utilize that, where these guys have learned to utilize that as a tool to get these women to do what they want them to do. And a lot of women are falling for it. A lot of women are falling for the price of the pipe. As long as the guy's laying it down good and he's doing tricks in the bedroom, her body is not used to receiving. She can get slapped, turned out. She can get turned out and become digmatized. A lot of women taking all kind of crap basically because the guy is just good in bed. He's a pro at how to make her feel like a woman in the bedroom. Now, outside of that, he has no other benefit to her other than that. She can't learn nothing from him. She can't really mature from him. She can't grow for him. He's really not good for her. All he can do is provide that good package. And that has a lot of women going because, again, it's something about when a woman is in the middle of, when a woman keeps sexually giving herself to a man, as much as she never wants to admit it, what she's not realizing is every time she deposits her body, she's depositing feelings. She's gaining feelings. And what happens is people get sex confused with their emotions. So after a while, sex will become like a blanket in a relationship, even a worse relationship. Sex has a way of comforting the couples that's in the worst circumstances. And I see so many women who fall for this. I mean, the man could be staying with them, him or her, not paying no bills, messing up the money, not helping her take care of the kids, and all those she's upset about, where he's failing as a companion and failing as a father, she will overlook all that when he makes her climax once or twice. It all goes out the door. And again, because a lot of women are confusing their emotions with the sex. And the problem is, the only thing is, his pipe is good, but he ain't good. That is the problem. And until a woman is woman enough to come to the conclusion that even though he is good in bed, he's not good for me, she's going to find herself in that. She's going to find herself stuck and stagnant. And eventually reality is going to sink in because as long as he keeps feeling like all he has to do is just deposit dick to make her happy, after a while, that's all he's going to provide. Just dick, 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 dick. That's all he's going to keep providing. And what's going to happen is as time goes on, her needs are going to change, because what used to make her happy at 20, if she makes it to 30, those same methods are not going to work. And what's going to happen is as she gets older and as life gets real, she's going to start demanding. She's going to look for him to do more. She's going to try to push him. And at this point, she done already created a monster. So one of two things are going to happen. Either she's going to end up having to get rid of him, or either he'll stay, but she's just going to be miserable, with them, so it's going to be, basically just one or the other. It's too many women that have fall prey to penis. Okay, they're allowing themselves to be digmatized, and all because a brother is good in the bed. He knows how to lick, stick, and do all these other magic tricks. Know how to bend you like a pretzel. That's all well and fine, but when you get in a real situation and you need him to man up, now you frustrated and you around here hating all men, because now you feel like all men are dogs, all men are no good. No, it's not all man. It's your man. It's the man that you chose, which is why you cannot get to the next level in life, because you keep picking the same man. Talking about all men are the same. No, you keep picking the same man. So pipe or being digmatized is one reason why women are making poor choices, as far as picking up the wrong type of guys. And I'm gonna got these two more reasons, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. You see, the next reason is she has too much excessive baggage to be selective. Now, this is definitely the God's honest truth. Basically, a lot of women are limited in their choices because they have bogged themselves down with so much baggage. And some of them started at an early age. Some of them started bogging themselves down with a lot of children and a lot of burdens at 13, 14, 15. Or some, they'll do it late. They'll wait till they get like 20, 20, no, that's still young. They wait till like they get in their middle 30s or early 40s, and they'll bog themselves down. A lot of women are limited with choices because they got too much baggage. Let's face it, guys. Not any man's going to deal with a woman who has 5 or 6 kids, especially if it's more than one baby daddy. Okay, a lot of women are stuck dealing with all kind of bull because they got too much baggage. There's not too many men that are going to walk into their life and accept all of their baggage and claim it as theirs. So again, women still want to be loved. They want to have a man, just like a woman who doesn't have any children who have a man. They want a man too. At the end of the day, a woman has 8, 9 children. She's still gonna want a companion. She's still gonna want a man to call her own, which is crazy. And I get it. A lot of men will think when you don't have that many children like that and you got that much baggage, you don't even need to be bringing that into another man's life. You don't even need to be looking for no man. That's true, guys. But the reality is, a woman is still a woman. Whether she got 8 kids, whether she got no kids, she still wants to be loved. She still wants to be validated. So you have some women who are so desperately want a man. If they know a real man is not going to accept them with their baggage, they'll just pick up any man. And it's on Betty Wright. A piece of man is better than no man at all. So again, some of these women cannot be choosy and get a better man because they got too much baggage. And ain't too many men of real standards and real class and real substance is not going to deal with a woman that has a lot of baggage. So therefore, if a woman has a lot of baggage, she got to take what she can get, which is these rejects, these builder bums, okay, these hood clowns. She got that's all she got left to pick. Because a man with high standards is not going to want no parts of her and her 8 or 9 children, okay? Next thing is she has been molested and sexually abused. It's a lot of women around here, not all, because some women are just whorish. Some women just like to be damn Jezebels, okay? And you have some women who, unfortunately, have been tampered with at young ages, and during their adolescence, during their childhood. It's a lot of women who have been molested and sexually abused. And if she's never got any real psychological help or spiritual help for it, this becomes a dysfunction in her life, to the point to where a man with any real substance, he's not going to be able to really deal with her, because if she's still suffering from that trauma and he tries to get sexually involved with her. She's snapping, she's having flashbacks and all of that. He's not going to be able to deal. So again, because of that, a lot of women are limited in their choices with men. If this woman knows she's been psychologically damaged as a child and she's never gotten any help for it, she's going to be a handful. She's going to be a handful unless you are a man who really has a lot of patience and you really, really, really dedicated like that. She can become a handful. So there's another reason that women that are have been sexually abused or sexually molested, they are drawn to the worst breed of men because they have a psychological permanent damage that has been done, and ain't too many good men in a right mind is going to want to deal with it, unless he's a man of God and he just really loves her enough to stand by her and to support her going through that. But for the most part, ain't too many men are going to deal with women who have experienced this type of trauma and didn't get any help from it. And this is the last one. Some women are just programmed to be dysfunctional. Again, depending on her upbringing, the type of environment, all of these factors influences a woman's her way of thinking. It has a lot to do with her outlook in life, if that's all she's known. Some women are programmed to be dysfunctional. Some women are programmed to just be dramatic, to the point to where a man that's in his right mind or a man with substance, he's not going to be able to deal with her. Or if he does deal with her, he's not going to deal with her too long. Eventually, she's going to become overwhelming, and she's going to really practically stress him out. And I suggest to any man, if you're dealing with a woman with any of these issues that I have just broke down to you, you might want to reconsider. Same thing for you ladies. If you are having a problem in any of these areas and you did not get any spiritual help, any psychological help, I suggest you do, because you are going to become another man's nightmare. You're going to become another man's burden. Do not get involved in another relationship if you know you have a lot of psychological problems you have not gotten any help for, because all it does is creates chaos to another human being that had nothing to do with all the problems that started out in your life. Okay, so I know this was a pretty relatively long video, but I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me here at Cafe de Paris. And remember, I'm still working on my book, and I got some other projects going on. And for anybody who wants me to do any topics or wants me to give them my own perspective on a certain video or a link, please send it to my email, which will be at the end of this video, Cafe de Paris. And donations are accepted, even if it's $1, $5, $10 a month, all is well. I put no stipulations on how much anybody wants to send to my channel. So on that note, it is your girl Lady Mocha, and I will probably be uploading again tomorrow, depending on how I'm doing. But on that note, this is Lady Mocha, and I'm going to always put you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off with a slice of knowledge. And y'all have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Y'all take care. See y'all soon.